Welcome to Knowledge Hub. Today I'm gonna do another one of my top 10 list videos. I know it's been a while since the last one, but you know, enough time has passed that we can let bygones be bygones. So I've been watching Dragonball for 3 or 4 months, and now that I've finished the series, I think that me, being Tyler of Knowledge Hub, I should do my part in providing the objective facts, the rundown, the truth on which 10 characters you should give your 1 or 2 shits about. I'm talking about the best of the best of the best. My rating system is based on a few key attributes, including strength displayed throughout the original Dragon Ball Z and Super series, the importance to the core plot, the progression of the story, the things that happen, you know what I mean, natural charisma, and of course the innate sex appeal. If your favorite character is not on the list, don't worry. They just suck, and they're dumb, and if you like them, you suck, and you're dumb. Number 10. Birthed from an egg sac from another bigger, larger Piccolo, this dude has had a hard life. After all, it ain't easy being cheesy. He was born for the sole purpose to conquer the earth, and becomes a minor inconvenience to some people in this area. It's not until he finds true love in the form of a young boy that he quickly goes from main antagonist to the huggable Pickle Man that we all know and love. Such a transformation is rarely seen in modern media, and it's the stuff like this, these bold, brash, creative decisions that really puts the balls in Dragon Balls. Number 9. Born at the start of the universe, an unstoppable force of destruction, a being whose very awakening signals the end of days.
Hello, girl. You think we're sexy? Yes, I think you're very, very sexy. Yay! Then give Boo Smoke.
You girls don't know what you want.
That's right, it's Boo! A good old lovable ploopy blob who ain't afraid to get down and dirty. One day he finds a puppy and a 70s porn star, and then a sniper on the knoll shoots the puppy, which Boo ain't too happy about. This makes him ejaculate another being into existence. Boo 2's pretty bad. He goes boop, 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 boop. Everybody dies. Everyone on the fucking planet dies. And then Goku goes like, Number 8. Climb up the tower, find a cat, have a good time, what's wrong with that? Number 7. Sure, maybe on the surface it seems like he's just a turtle. You know, but he's the turtle of the Turtle Hermit Turtle Club. His meeting with Goku launches the entire series forward, and man, kind of does suck. He's just a turtle. Number 6. Ginyu Force, pretty rad. I hear ya. Captain Ginyu, he's pretty dad. I feel ya. But you know what's even dadder and radder than these two things? That's right, Ginyu Frog. Eat some chocolate, hop around. He's a man. He's a frog. He's making friends. Ginyu Frog is top tier. But if anything in the world could be a Ginyu Frog, it's
Change now!
Hey! What's up? What's going on?
this. A Bulma Frog. Just watch this. Just watch this scene. It's fucking adorable. I love you, Bulma Frog.
Number 5.
Don't you just wish that every moment of your life was narrated by a relative stranger? He provides the viewer with apt descriptions of what's going on in the show at the exact moment you're watching it. So this is to you, my man, the fastest wagon around. Okay, so number 4 is a pick I bet that most hardcore Dragon Ball fans aren't even aware of. It's a character with one of the most deepest backstories, the most triumphant victories and tragic endings that no other character in the series quite has. This is Krillin. His story actually starts before his birth, but it's important for some historical context. The time is right around here, the future Trunks saga, but not in the future, you know, that part. One day, Krillin is strolling around Capsule Corps, admiring the busts and smelling the, that's it. After realizing he doesn't have a nose, he needs to find an easy solution. So he's gonna gather up the 7 Dragon Balls and just wish for a nasal cavity. But, you know, he can't just go out there and get him for himself, because he's Krillin. He can't do shit. So he gets a gaudy, naughty idea. He knows that Bulma here has a time machine. But you see, he won't know where the balls will be in the future, but he knows where they were at some point in the past. He doesn't want to change any potential timelines, though. So if he's gonna take a wish for himself, he wants one that will have little to no ramifications. He remembers being told that back in the day, Bulma and the Goku and some other people went, and they had a a relatively pointless wish. So he's gonna try to take that wish for himself. He finds Bulma's old diary, finds the date and location of said wish, steals the time machine, goes to the area of said wish, and then goes back in time. He arrives at the exact moment he wanted, but maybe a bit too exact. Because in this moment, he appears where Oolong was standing, and they merge into one being. This beast is Krillin. Krillin gets the nose he wanted, but with a price. Of course, Oolong's simplistic pig brain is completely shattered and destroyed by Krillin's, but his face is still horrifically mutated with the piggy nose. Sadly, Shenron grants somebody else's wish during all this commotion. It's a wish by Goku for a tiny little Shenron that he gets to be friends with. And when that happens, the tiny Shenron flies around. You know, he doesn't know how to fly that well, and he crashes into the time machine, and it destroys it. Now, Krillin realizes he's stuck in the past. He's stuck with this pig nose. He's stuck in a new timeline, and the only way to fix this is get more Dragon Balls. But he doesn't have Bulma's diary, so he can't just check out where the Dragon Balls will be next. He does remember that eventually the balls will be gathered on Namek. That's a while from this point, so he waits outside Castle Corps for a few decades. Because he knows at some point they're gonna build a ship that will take him to Namek. This version of him, not, you get it. He can't pilot it himself, so he can't just steal it and go alone. So he sneaks on board and disguises himself as some background object, because he has that oblong shape-shifting power. On Namek, Krillin gathers all the Dragon Balls as quickly as possible. He kidnaps Dende, so he can translate the words into this girthy Shenron language. And right as he's about to make his wish, the wish to return to his own timeline, Frieza finds him, because, Frieza was there. Krillin can't risk fighting Frieza. He can't waste the time because girthy Shenron is just waiting there, and he's gonna leave soon probably, so he transforms into Frieza's ideal woman. This brief distraction doesn't go too well for Krillin though, because Frieza pounces with fervent sexual prowess. With all this going on, Dende sneaks away, and girthy Shenron just has to watch what follows over here. And once the deed is done, Krillin barely manages to escape, pull up his pants, find Dende, kidnap him again, and force him to make 2 wishes. And then let's see, he wants to go back to his own timeline, but, he wants to wish for that. Okay. But right before he does, Frieza holds Dende hostage. Like, he takes the Dende from Krillin, and he wishes so he's taller and immortal. That's 2 wishes. So Vegeta arrives, and then he wishes that Frieza wasn't immortal. And then Krillin sneaks back onto the ship, and the Z fighters go back to Earth. 9 months later, Krillin is born. Now we're getting started. So they're stuck in a different timeline, waiting for future Trunks to arrive from the future. Krillin knows that'll happen eventually, but this day doesn't ever come. This is because this isn't the same timeline that Trunks asked for help in. It's not the one he went back. And in this one, Goku dies of the heart disease, and the androids take over. And then so Krillin, he's like, that sucks. So he waits for the Z fighters to gather the balls to revive, like, Tien or some shit. And then Krillin jumps in at the last second and steals the wish for himself. But this Shenron's not strong enough to get him back to his own timeline. And so he has to wish for something else. He wishes to go back in time right before the Saiyan arc, because he figures, there was a lot of balls around back then, right? So that wish is granted. And they arrive, both him and Krillin, arrive at the exact moment that Raditz landed on Earth. And Krillin merges with Raditz. And then Raditz's brain explodes in Krillin. Then Krillin proceeds to train this Saiyan Krillin. And because of this, Krillin knows that he can use the moon to unlock Krillin's hidden power. But the issue is, Roshi eliminated the moon back in that world tournament in the original Dragon Ball. So instead, Krillin turns into the moon using his oblong powers. And yeah, Krillin is the moon. And Krillin starts to transform. And during this transformation, as Krillin is the moon, Piccolo does this shit. So Krillin's dead, and Piccolo killed him, and Chillin just transforms into a giant monkey Frieza thing, and he just crushes Piccolo. Piccolo's dead. Very distraught from this series of events, Chillin wants to go back in time to, this point before Krillin was brutally murdered. And so he goes and he waits a couple years outside Castle Corp, and he goes into a spaceship, and he goes to Namek, and he gets the Dragon Balls, and he kidnaps Dende, and he sees his dad in Frieza, and then he cock blocks Frieza, and then Chillin wishes that Piccolo was alive and right here so he could just get revenge again. Because, he's just so angry right at this moment. And then Piccolo comes back to life. And then right before Chillin is about to fucking just Kamehame, Piccolo says this. Chillin, I did not know your father was the moon. If I did, I would not have blown it up. See, he was trying to make you stronger, and he died because of that. And then Chillin's like, oh no, he died for me. It was my fault. Oh no, my revenge, my anger. I should not have targeted it at you, Piccolo, but instead myself, for I am my own worst enemy. And if I am to get my justice for my father, I must eliminate myself. Then he looks at the Shenron. He's like, great girthy dragon, I wish I was never born. And the dragon's like, if you do that, Chillin, events you can't even imagine will be changed. Events before and after and parallel in time to your life. Are you sure you want to do this, Chillin? And Chillin says, yeah. Then the dragon's like, your wish is granted. And then the universe just collapses, and things are like shaking, and it's this really cool shit's going on. And then the screen goes white and then black. The camera, you just see the sky, and the camera pans down, and we just see Krillin back at the beginning of the story that I just started. And see, he doesn't know what happened, because, time was changed and shit. And now he's looking around, and he sees the time machine, and then he touches his nose, because there's like a part of his brain that kind of knows this is bad. He's like, not today, Krillin, not today. Number 3. So after like 27,000 miles and 400 episodes, Goku finally gets past Snake Way. There we meet the one King Kai, also known as Bubbles the Monkey. And he's just a regular monkey. He doesn't really do anything special. He just does that. Number 2. Meow 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 meow. Now it's time for some honorable mentions. Just a few of the characters who have really made an impact over the course of the series and in my heart. World Announcer Guy, Bug Princess, Gohan's Dinosaur Friend, Goku, Icarus, and now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The number 1 pick, the best character in Dragon Ball history is... It's Poir. I love Poir.